All right, Mark here again, cooking books, bringing info. So I've been studying the genetic code. I've been studying the ribosome and the subconscious mind and how it all works. I put up a video, the ribosome and subconscious mind. I kind of like want to touch on that a little bit more. This video is going to keep it short. That's pretty much just kind of like a recap. Excuse me. So it's so important, right? It's so fascinating how to understand like how our how DNA replicates a gene, a segment of itself, which is considered a gene. And within that gene, you have what's called the nucleic acid, the nucleotides. Excuse me. You have nucleotides. Nucleotides are organic compounds of nucleic acids, right? And the nucleotides are consist of four bases. These four bases are represented by letters, and therefore the genetic code. These letters are called the genetic language or the genetic alphabet. Now, these four bases are nucleotides, right? These four bases are sequenced together in threes. When they're sequenced together in threes, they're called codons. And codons is responsible for coding the equivalent, the physical equivalent, which is the protein, and an amino acid end product, a polypeptide. So it's interesting because all this transpires within the ribosome, because I talked about the ribosome in the last video. And the ribosome, like I said, is a workstation. It's responsible for protein synthesizing or the synthetic process of protein, right? So synthesizing protein, synthetic process of protein is what the ribosome is responsible for. In layman terms, in easy, without using the jargons, this means they make proteins. The ribosome is responsible for making a protein. And the ribosome, again, it has a partner, if you will, which is the tRNA, which is another molecular structure that works with the ribosome for the polypeptide production. The polypeptide is the end product of the amino acid, which is protein sequenced by the codons. You have the start codon and you have the stop codon. But what's interesting is all this process, everything we're discussing right here, it's amazing because this is exactly how your subconscious mind materializes your desires. It is the exact step-by-step process of how your subconscious mind brings your wishes or your desires to manifestation or to fruition. And it follows a very, very similar methodology. And I spoke, I spoke about this before. But why I like this, finding this genetic information, understanding this genetic process, the genome and the genetic code, and how it's is considered canonical and universal genetic code. Understanding this really lets me, and if you can understand this yourself, lets us understand how we manifest things into our world without laboring and killing yourselves manually, without exhausting yourself physically and sending yourself to the grave early. It's really about being able to understand that, for instance, your gene is nothing more or less than information stored and packaged away by your DNA. I'll say that again. Each gene is nothing but information, instruction, a set of rules stored and packaged away by the DNA. The DNA is not responsible for making a protein per se. The DNA does not intentionally or directly makes the protein. What the DNA does is it replicates a gene, and in that gene is like I said, the nucleotide, the grouping of the nucleotides, which are codons. And within that is a set of rules and instructions and how a particular and it specifies how a protein is to be designed. Each protein is unique because each gene has specific instructions on how a specific amino acid is to be synthesized, right? So if we can understand it and really get that, then we'll understand that each thought impulse that we have is information. There is a coded information in each thought impulse that we have. And our thought impulse, again, like I said, we're not talking about frivolous thoughts. We're not talking about fanciful thoughts. We're not talking about transitory thoughts here today, gone tomorrow. We're talking about a long-lasting, perpetuating continuity, a continuous, obsessive desire that you want out of life. As long as you maintain that in the subconscious mind, and you hold that in your mind, your subconscious mind, like the ribosome, and again, the ribosome works with the tRNA in conjunction as partner for the process, the synthetic process of bringing the instruction, or that's what it's interesting too, because it's called mRNA, messenger RNA. And the gene that is a spin-off of the DNA or a replicated of the DNA, once that gene is replicated, the gene is called mRNA. It's no longer just RNA. It's mRNA, and the M stands for messenger. So if you think about it, there's a message in the gene being sent to the ribosome, and the message is, hey, make this protein this way. So if we take that same concept and understand, if you send a command to your subconscious mind, a message, right? You're sending your subconscious mind a message. And if you can maintain that message in your mind, this is my desire, this is my wish, this is what I want to do with my life, this is what my hopes, my dreams, my aspirations, all that I hope to be, this is it. So you send your subconscious mind a message, no difference than the DNA sends a message, RNA, to the ribosome. If you send your subconscious mind a message continuously in perpetuity, in continuity, then what will happen is the subconscious mind follows, again, the same protocol. It has to follow protocol. It has to follow the same methodology as the ribosome, and it has to cook up, blend up, mix up faith and all the good stuff with that thought or with that message that you send to it, and give you the physical equivalence. Like I said, this is just a recap of the last video that I made. It's kind of the same thing. Maybe I just went a little deeper. I don't know, but I'm just fascinated, transfixed, mesmerized, hypnotized by this stuff. So I want to share with you guys. Till next time. Peace.